As a next-gen pastor, I get a lot of questions thrown my way. So in this video, I'm going to tell you the 5 most asked questions that I get and how I answer them. So stay tuned. Hi everyone, my name is Luke and I'm here from the NextGen Hub, a place where we want to empower, encourage and equip you, the next-gen pastor, in your leadership role. So in this video, I'm going to share 5 of the most asked questions that I get thrown my way and how I best answer them. So let's go. Number 1 is what drives me to do NextGen Ministry. I think I've always loved young people. Even before I was in pastoral ministry, I was working with young people from ages, sort of 2 years old to 18 and plus. So that combined with my love for ministry, I think those two really married up pretty well. So what drives me to do NextGen Ministry? I think my love for young people, seeing them flourish and to reach their potential, but also my love to see people know Jesus. So that's what really drives me. Number 2 is what do I think the biggest issues are facing the church today? Now I think before answering this question, it's really important that we focus on what the church is doing really well. There are many things, but like any organization or any body, there are some things that the church could improve on. For example, I believe that the church as a general rule could really give young people a better voice, a seat at the table of organization and of vision casting in particular. I think the church has this old-fashioned way of inviting kids or youth into the church body when they hit 18 or when they finish high school. But until that time comes, they're not given a voice or a seat at the table. Now, I think we're learning more and more that young people, in particular youth and young adults, they really want to be part of something special. So it makes no sense to sort of push them to the side and say, you don't belong here just yet. When you're 18, then we'll listen to you. I think that's really dangerous. I also think that the church can't be afraid of what culture is doing. The whole do not love the world thing still applies, but I think we can't be ignoring the realities of the world or what's happening around us. I think if we silo ourselves from the world, we give off this idea that we don't like the world or we don't like you unless you're a believer or a Christian, and I think that's completely contrary to what Jesus did and what Jesus taught. I think one more issue that the church could be facing in a lot of churches themselves is not seeing parents or the families as the primary disciples of their children. I think the old-fashioned way of doing youth ministry and kids ministry is you drop your kids off on a Sunday or a Friday night or a Wednesday night if you're in the States, and you sort of forget about it and you just assume that that's enough. But we're learning more and more that it actually needs to continue and be championed in the family home. So I think churches that don't do this or championing that, I think that could be potentially detrimental to the future generations of the church. The third one I get a lot is why orange? Now, those that know me, who talk to me in churches or in other ministry contexts know that I'm all about orange. You would have seen my video not long ago about what is orange. Now, orange is basically a philosophy that champions the family as a primary disciples with the light of the church, the influence of the church, really backing up what's happening at home. I love orange because it really champions parents and caregivers. I think that's a huge, huge plus. Orange also focuses on the psychological development of children and young people and how they actually grasp the gospel. Now, as someone with a psychology and counseling background, that clearly really appeals to me, but I think we have to look at how the kids are grasping gospel truths, and I really believe that orange has that down pat. So why orange? That's why. Number 4 is how do I bring about change? Now, if you've been in ministry any length of time and you've tried to bring change in, you would know how important this question is to answer. Now, change has to happen. I believe that the church is an organism that is alive and has to keep on moving forward. It's important that we focus and we celebrate the past, but we also build on that and focus on the future as well. So whenever you're bringing a change or the what, it has to always be accompanied by the why. So you could say, we're going to change the church logo, or we're going to change the youth logo. Because we believe that that doesn't really represent who we are anymore, but I believe that something that we could design would do a better job at doing that. So you aren't just saying, we're going to change the logo, get on board, or that's it, but you have to say why you're going to do it. So as a general rule, the way to bring about change is to focus on the why as well as the what. And number 5, I get asked this by plenty of other leaders actually, what blogs or podcasts do I really listen to that really hone my craft as a NextGen pastor? Now, there's a lot out there. I can tell you all the books I read, but with blogs in particular and podcasts, you can't go wrong with Andy Stanley. His leadership stuff is amazing. Craig Groeschel has some incredible stuff as well. I'm a big Kerry Newhoff fan in Canada there. Kerry's amazing. Just his leadership, insights and experience, I believe, will really set you up to win perfectly well. Of course, the Orange stuff is always really good too. Some quality parent cue things from the Orange group. So basically anything that really focuses on how do we rethink ministry. So those podcasts and blogs that I just mentioned are really fantastic at doing that. So those are the 5 really quick questions that I get asked. I can expand on them a lot more if you really want me to, but I do get asked that quite a bit. So hopefully that has answered some of your questions. If you want to build on those, make sure you comment. Make sure you check out our Facebook and our Instagram just down below here. But it's really important that we keep on asking ourselves, what can we do better? How can we have greater impact in what we're doing? And that requires a level of honesty. And I believe that those 5 questions can really feed into that quite well. So there you have it, guys. That's 5 really brief and quick questions that I answer quite often. Make sure you check out our links down below, and we'll see you next week. So God bless. See ya.